How's everybody doing out there? This is Podcast versus the World. I'm your host, Cameron L. Abington. How's everybody doing? Draft weekend, not bad, not bad. Raiders are doing good. That's my team. If you didn't know, Las Vegas Raiders, love them to death. I was gonna do this podcast yesterday. I had little computer issues. It worked out for the better. Today I had a different subjects I wanted to touch on, but maybe God works in mysterious ways, as they say. Um, this one I want to talk about today makes me sick to my stomach. It pisses me off, America. Who's ever listening? Let me take care of a little house cleaning before we get to where I go into it. Podcast versus the world. The email is podcast versus the world 76 at gmail.com. You'll find this podcast on all your podcast providers, Apple Pods. Um, they're all there. We're everywhere. We're everywhere. Um, we're everywhere. Just look us up if you have a problem. You got having a hard time finding it. Email me. I'll give you a list where we're at. We're on YouTube. Look under Podcast versus the World. You'll see my wonderful face. Like I said, we're everywhere. We're wherever you want to listen to your podcast at. We're everywhere. I appreciate everybody who subscribes. I do TikToks also. The Drive for Five is still alive. We're still doing that. You know, I do engagements on there too. Like and share my videos. If you go to TikTok, like I said, subscribe. Subscribe. All right. We're trying to get to, man, 100 followers. Let's just get to 100. Let's get to 100 followers. Have a friend, tell a friend, tell them this is a different, please recommend me. Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. Don't mind. I have an RSS account that all my podcasts go to. If you want to watch some of my earlier ones that I've done, we're working on it. We're working on it. We're working. We're working. We're working. Um, this one really touched the nerve. People don't know my background. When I was younger, I used to work with children. I used to work for the mental health center here in my area. I used to work with kids, at-risk youth was my job. So if a kid had a tough time, I'd go to the schools and sit with them or mentor them after school and take them around, show them there's a better way of doing things. Some of them were sexually assaulted by their family members. Um, Love the job. Love watching people progress. Just kind of you know, I'm still like that. I'm still, I still have that side of me in there of things that I do now. So when I work with people and I see progress, it just brightens my day, makes me happy, makes me happy. I want to describe something for you today. A lot of you listening have children. Do you think your child, let's say you have a 6 or 7 year old, 4 year old, some, you think they could go to court and defend themselves against in a court of law? What do you think? What do you think? Now you're saying, Cameron, that's a stupid question. No kid in the world. They can barely survive kindergarten. They can barely stay away from kindergarten. What makes you think they could do a courtroom? People right now in America, undocumented children are being sent to court to defend themselves against the United States government to decide if they get to stay or go without any legal representation. No, no, you heard me right the first time. In an article I was reading from the Gothamist, let's see, get this lady's name right. Let's see, I get down to the bottom here. I'll make sure I get her. Um, Her name is Aria Sundaram. All right. All right. She writes for this magazine, or not sure what they are exactly. Anyway, anyway. So I'll tell you how I found this story. My wife, now I do TikTok. My wife loves TikTok. She was watching it. She's Cameron, look at this. Shows me the phone where it said this had this little kid dang on his legs, and he's sitting, this little Mexican child or Hispanic child, let's say, 'cause I don't know if he was Mexican or not, dangling his legs, and the judge talking to him. I'm like, this can't be. This has got to be clickbait. This is fake. So I go on, I look. Well, I'll be damned. CNN had done a story about it. It's about 5 minutes where they talk about how these kids are going to court and no representation. No representation. Then I find an article at the Gothamist, right? And the headline is called the story, a 4-year-old migrant girl, other kids go to court in New York City with no lawyer. The cruelty is apparent. You don't say. So I read the story, right? Now this was published April 22nd of this year. All right. Right. And so it goes in, talks about how the migrants or children sit in front of a computer, appearing virtually in real court proceedings. I mean, it just gets ridiculous. They swivel on the chairs, of course, they're children, right? Now, these kids can't speak English. They put the little things on their ear, and the judge talks to them. So the reason why we're here is because the government of the United States wants you to leave the U.S. Now, the judge is being very nice, you know. I I read this every time I read this, I think how pathetic this is. And the judge tells my job to figure out if you have to leave or stay, right? They described this one child as a 7-year-old boy wearing a shirt with a pizza cartoon, and he was playing with a toy windmill while the judge spoke to him. There's an 8-year-old girl, 4 year and her 4-year-old sister, tie-dye shirt. They had a little plushy toy. The immigrant advocates and lawyers say the increasing number of these migrant children are making immigration court appearances without the assistance of attorneys. And a lot of these kids are getting deported. Here's the good part. Our wonderful Trump administration terminated a $2 million contract that funds the attorneys and other legal services for unaccompanied children. These children who arrive without parents or legal guardians and typically instead come with aunts, uncles, and other siblings. So they're not the legal guardians. They have to go in there by themselves. They don't understand a damn thing of it. And we call this justice. Oh, that wonderful president of ours, he just keeps making the top 10 lists of mine. Do you call that fair? Is that right? Now, the first thing when I was talking to my son, he was like, "Hey, well, why did the kids come by themselves?" I was like, "Well, if you only have money for your kid to make it, you send your kid with an aunt or uncle or somebody you trust to get them across to the land of opportunity, and you try to make it later on. We can save some more money. It costs money to get across the border. It's not cheap. So our wonderful government cut the money. How do you expect a child to sit here and go through this? I want somebody to explain to me how in the hell is a child supposed to go? Going to court. I am 48 years old. I'll be 49 this year. Going to court's nerve wracking for me. We're putting children who don't understand a damn thing that's going on, and we're supposed to be proud of this. This is the most cruel and inhumane thing. I read this and I was so mad. I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" I mean, the Trump administration shows how low they are. This is just low. I mean, now they're saying like 50 or 60% of the docket of this are kids. Now, here's the good stuff. Here's the crazy part. If these kids would have, say, robbed the bank, we have to give them representation because it's a criminal court. Criminal court, you got to have lawyers. Not so much in immigration court, according to some of the comments I was reading. You don't have to. You don't have to have that. Isn't that crazy? And then Trump, being the big man that he is, cut the funding. Cut the funding so these kids could at least be represented by somebody, get some help. He don't give a shit. I don't give a damn about them. I keep saying this is about rich man, poor man. Rich man, poor man. I've said it over and over again. And every time, I want to give them benefit of doubt of things. Stuff like this pops up, and I'm just, what the hell? Now, I know some of the people who work for the Trump administration. If you listen to them, they don't give a shit about a certain color of people. I 1,000% believe it. Now, a lot of them are America first type people. They want Americans first, which that's fine. Okay, you want to be American first, that's fine. You know, but this is unacceptable. This is what should make Americans look at themselves in the morning and say, "Who the hell are we?" I did another podcast. If you go back into the archives and look them up, I did a podcast talking about it. Who are we? This is a shame. I can't. I don't even know what to say. If you get a chance, please go to the Gothamist. This lady wrote a wonderful. I mean, it's a wonderful story, But with Trump sitting there scaring the lawyers, you know, and the lawyers scared out of their minds, they just acquiesce to what he wants them to do. They're scared. They're afraid. They don't want to take him on. Now, thank God, there'll be places like Harvard that are fighting back, and all the schools. I heard the Big Ten has a thing they're putting together. That's good. That's real good. That's real good. But these lawyers are afraid. These law firms. I wonder if some of these law firms that were backing down were these some of the immigration law firms that Trump had sat here and bullied because they were afraid. Now there's supposed to be nonprofit legal groups trying to plug the funds, get the money together. Now, a judge recently ordered Trump to temporarily restore the contract. The Supreme Court can't get him to do a damn thing. What makes you think that some judge is going to tell Trump what to do and he's going to put that money back to protect these children? Get the hell out of here. Until I see the Supreme Court put their balls on the track, I don't listen. The three branches of government are a joke until I see differently. Till I see some of these fuckers up there for the Trump administration going to jail, losing their law license. Till something happens, don't give me the three branches of government. Until I see something, this is a waste of time. Now I'm sitting there reading the rest of the article where they're saying they're trying to challenge it. As a judge that did order it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. This one place, um, Jesus Lord, they laid off two of their immigration attorneys. Because they lost the federal contract money, $600,000 annually. The place only has a $12 million budget. And ain't nobody doing this for free. You, it is a joke. This whole thing is a joke. And we sit here and we say, "Oh, Trump's going to be better. He's going to do this. He's going to do that." It's a joke. It's a joke. I don't even know what to say. And I'm glad I kind of calmed down because I was outraged. I was so mad. When you look online, go on Google, look up um unaccompanied children in immigration court. If that doesn't send you to where it sent me, you don't have a heart. MAGA, Democrat, Republic. I really haven't heard this story from anybody. Now maybe they have, and I apologize if I had. Maybe I missed it that day. I haven't heard enough. I haven't heard enough. We need somebody to stand up. Can you imagine I could imagine my son at 6 or 7 going to a court and trying to have a conversation about his right to be in a country and to understand. Are we supposed to think that's okay? Are you effing serious? It gives me a headache thinking about it. We're supposed to be the example for the world. I mean, these kids don't understand what's going on. These kids don't, and praise God to The judge in this, I'm sitting here looking at the rest of the story as I was sitting here. Thank God for nice judges who understand this is a complete shit show done by the Trump administration. We already don't give, we don't want to give people the rights, you know. And this is what we do to children. This is what we do. Nobody standing up for these kids. Nobody. If you hear another podcast talk about this, give them a listen. 'Cause at least they're paying attention to what's going on. Nobody's talking about this. I like everybody's talking about the due process. Hey guys, keep paying attention. Trump's throwing more bullshit at you. There's some more. I mean, I have I have like several stories I could talk about. There was one I was definitely going to talk about that I backed off because I found this one. I might do that one tomorrow or the day after. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I don't know. This makes me sick to my stomach. And we're supposed to be happy about this. We are supposed to be the example for the world. And what we are is an example of how when you don't have people that want to do their job, and I'm talking about your congressmen who don't want to do their damn jobs, all right? They represent us. You can't tell me that if everybody in the district knew that this was going on, that they would agree to it. They would want their congressman to stand up. You know, this story is heartbreaking. But I'm telling you something right now. There's change a coming. There's change coming. I've been listening to a lot of Democratic stuff. There's a lot of people who are starting to say, "All right, it's time for some of these old heads to get out of office. They're not effective. And maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to put young blood in there to fight for our rights. To not back down. But right now, we're seeing Republicans don't care. People, they do not care. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about your Medicaid. They don't give a shit about anything. They don't care about these little Mexican kids or these Spanish speaking kids. They don't give a shit about them. Put them in front of a judge and kick them out. Could care less. They cut the funding to make sure it was going to happen. There's a master plan here. Connect the dots. We'll talk about it on another podcast. I don't want to get into that. Let's get into the weeds. But there's dots to be connected. Don't ever forget that. I'm saying this story disgusted me. To see it on CNN made me even madder. I said I gotta do a podcast about it. I wasn't gonna do it since I gotta get this out. This has been lingering on my head. We need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. Tell me what you think. Hey, leave a like, subscribe in the comments. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this article. What do you think about it? What's your thoughts? I was disgusted. I thought America could do better. Some of us do not care. We don't. It's the most disgusting thing I've seen in a long time, to be honest. I mean, reading it's bad enough, but when you see the when you see the video of the little kid. I mean, it just touches your heart, and it just makes you let's look at everything in a different sight. These are children we're doing this to. Jesus, Lord. Lord have mercy. Bless our soul. What have we become? What have we become? I don't even know what to say anymore. I don't even know anymore. I've never seen a more corrupt administration. But but the bad part, the crazy part is we voted for it. This is what we wanted. We wanted Donald Trump to come in and drain the swamp and all this other crap. But now we're seeing, if you sit here and you pay attention, there's things that are not right. You know, I, I'll go into that to another podcast. There's a lot of things that have happened this week. A lot of people coming out making comments. Very interesting one. Some stuff you need to really pay attention to. You need to listen. You need to pay attention. Stay woke. We're taking that word back again. We're going to stay woke. That means pay the hell attention. Pay attention. You're going to stay woke. Because people aren't talking about this story that I just told you about. People aren't talking about it. They're not. So if I'm the only one talking about it, I'll talk about it. Like I said, podcasts like this are made to talk about obscure topics, to make connections that the other show. Listen, other places won't make the connections. I will. I am. I'm going to make connections. I'm going to say things that are provocative, and I'm going to say stuff that other places won't say it. I'll say it. To hell with it. I'm not backed by anybody. This. I'm a one man ass kicking machine. If it needs to be said, I'll say it. To hell with it. You want to join on the ride? Join with me. That's what we're doing. We're building a coalition. I'll say this. I'll listen. I will say what you think. People are afraid to go against this administration. They're scared. I understand, but sometimes things need to be said. And what I just told you about, what I just read, when you look it up on Google, somebody needs to stand up. Stand up. Somebody. I want to hear a congressman talk about this. Wouldn't that be lovely? Have some of our lovely Congress people, the people that we pay, to sit there and open their mouth and say, this is wrong, and fix it. We want you to fight like hell. Do something, say something, stand up. We want our congressmen to do their job and fight for us. Because by God, we've set them enough time to Washington, and they've done not a damn thing but get rich. And trust me, there's a lot of young people are starting to stand up. I'm proud of that. I like seeing that. We need more podcasters to come out and start calling the BS. I love it to watch people come out and call BS and finally stand up. For far too long, we've watched our politicians be ineffective. Then you sit here and you listen and to stuff like this with these children, and nobody says a word. On to the next one because Trump done so much shit you can't keep up. That's what I'm here for. So we're hitting the 30-minute mark. Great podcast today. Podcast versus the world. And all your podcast areas. All right. We are sponsored by no one. We're working on that. We're gonna pray about it. We're gonna pray about it. Um, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're in a lot of places. iHeart, I believe. I believe I am. YouTube. This video will be on YouTube. If you're listening to me, I thank you for everybody who's listening and actually leaving please leave a comment. You know what? I see all these people watching the videos and or watching or listening to it. Leave a comment. Leave a comment. Say, Cameron, you suck or something. I don't know. Leave a comment. I want some engagement. I don't want to talk. I want to talk back to you guys. All right. Spread the word. Podcast versus the world. Spread the word. Spread the word. All right. We're gonna build this up one person at a time if we got to. Spread it. Leave comments. Like. Leave a like. Leave a like. Leave me some stars. If they said, rate the show. Rate it. Come on now. Come on now. That's what we're trying to do. Trying to build this thing up. Right? Engagement is great. Like I said, TikTok, we're doing okay. Drive for 5,000 people. Hey, that's wonderful. The email, podcast versus the world 76 at Gmail. Leave an email. You want leave engagement? Let's talk. Like and share. In my bio has the RSS feed on it. Might have to click and paste. Might have to, paste it to your web browser and go from there. All right. It'll lead you right to my RSS account where you can see all the other all the videos, audio, whatever. YouTube, Podcast versus the World. Right. We're gonna put this up on TikTok, YouTube, X. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Time to get back on the saddle. All right. I think that's all I got for today. All right. Stay woke, stay vigilant. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. If there's a story you want me to look up and do a long form podcast about, please write me. Write me if write me. Say, Cameron, I want you to look into this. Or there's something you don't understand, you want me to break it down. Like I did what did we talk about? The rights or whatever. Why we're worried about that one guy over there in that prison. Due process. What is it? What does it mean? I did a whole video about due process. I thought it was a pretty good one myself. That was pretty good. Um, Getting better. We're getting better. All right. That's all I got for you tonight. Stay woke, stay vigilant. Abington out.